Good day, this is Jimmy working around the shop today. Thought I might drop a video. Go on and get this out of the way. If you like learning things, you like maybe seeing some things that folks won't tell you, go on and subscribe to this channel because I'm not holding back. I'd like to see you succeed in this particular. Well, that spider didn't like me. Anyway, I'd like to see you succeed in this particular field, or either just know how it's done. All right, I'm working on the back glass of this 1970 Monte Carlo. Anybody that's following these videos know that, this month I've been working on this Monte Carlo a lot. This is just our next particular project. Haven't given it a name yet. Trying to get people to comment on the channel. Trying to get the channel to grow. All these particular things. But today I want to tell you, this is the things the bodymen wouldn't show you, because they scared you might step in front of them. I want to tell you something. I've been working this whole job so long to where I want to see somebody else come up and excel in this. And it took me 40 years just to figure out some of my simple techniques. They're simple, but anybody can say they can do it. But it's going to, the first thing, you're going to have a technique, and then you're going to have to do it, and you're going to have to perfect it. All right, here we are. I'm going to go on and pull this down. I've got this stuck together. Before I go any further, I was trying to get this car done, and I realized I hadn't did any videos on this back glass. And if I don't show you this right here and how this come about, I would be doing you an injustice, if that's the correct word. All right. With the rust, eat out around the back of this glass. You're going to run not just this car. Every car that's 50 years old is going to have this problem, pretty much. You go to the car show, well, they got some that never had, well, they probably don't. Probably what you're seeing at the car show, maybe even something that a guy like me is built for somebody or built for themselves, because restoration means to restore that which is destroyed. Well, rust don't hold back for nobody. So if you want what you see, or you want to know how it's done, I'm going to give you a short tutorial. First thing you got to do is get a template. Going to put it together in a couple of pieces. But the first piece I need is the bottom piece. So I stretch a piece of paper across here. You see I've already cut this template out. I'm just trying to catch this before I get out of it and show you a little something about what's going on with this car. Stretch that paper across it. Just a full sheet. Then I take a razor blade and I cut the inside out. All right, when I cut the inside out, as you see, I put my template up with magnets. You can try to tape it in place, do whatever you want to do, but you can't beat the magnets. All right, so we come up with this. All right, the template, as you see, it's kind of wobbly, kind of floppy. Where metal is precise. We want a precise measurement. All right, this has probably got us pretty close, but we haven't inserted it down here. So what we're going to do with the template, the first thing we're going to do with the template, we're going to find an old sign, a piece of aluminum, cardboard, something that's a little more precise that we can lay down in that place for what we're going to make. And there's dual reasons for that. Like I say, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks today. There's dual reasons for that. If you continue to watch, subscribe to this channel, would help us continue to do this. And then it would encourage me. All right, I found an old sign. I laid this template up on that old sign. I made that drawing that we just cut out. All right. Also, that's just the outside edge. I took my measuring tool, okay, and I got the depths on how much shoulder we actually need when we're making this piece off of this template. Okay, but we're not going to just go straight to the metal and cut the metal because the template's not precise. You need a precise measurement before you cut that metal because of the shape of this thing. It's gonna entail a pretty big piece of metal. We just want to cut it once. Measure twice, they say. Cut once. Well, maybe I can't just measure twice exactly like that, but I've got the template, and I'm going to take the template and I'm going to make a pattern. Well, the pattern can be laying down in the hole. And if it doesn't go back up flush, I can grind the pattern. I can adjust the pattern. Maybe you'd say, why don't you just go on and cut the metal and do it? Well, I want to explain that to you. This template, this pattern that I adjust and I make it exactly like I want it. And I put the lip on it exactly the depth that I measured with my calibrating tool. Now you could do this with a paint paddle or whatever. You know, push it up there, get on the back side, put your marker on it, pull that paint paddle down side of that template, make another mark, and cut it out and get you something like this. Adjust it, make it just like you want it. All right, I've made this template, and I'm going to cut out a piece of steel, but I'm going to cut out two of them. The reason I'm going to cut out two just like this, because I'm going to do both sides at one time. And this, flipped over, is going to be the other side. So, we make one template. And we've accomplished a pattern for both sides to fit down in there. And not just that, I'm going to even go so far as to write 1970 Monte Carlo on that pattern, because I'm going to hang that up. And if I get another 1970 Monte Carlo in here, I've already got a pattern to replace the back glass. And I guarantee you, at this point, if you're restoring it, the first thing you've got to do is replace the rain trough around the back glass. Okay, I've got that pattern. Well, I'll lay that pattern down. I'll go on and cut me two pieces. I've already cut that piece. I've actually already done the other side. I just thought I'd stop and give you some tidbits to maybe get you interested in what we're doing around here. All right, that is an exact replica of my pattern in metal. All right, we could go and tack weld and this and that, but what we're going to do now, we just want to mock up everything. So I push that back where I want it. I take me a 1/8 drill bit. I tap one corner with that 1/8 drill bit. And I've got a Cleco tool. The Cleco is used in airplane manufacturing. And I guess that's what it's for. But it's also, you see some people using, and I don't have the market on it, but I will explain to you how you find it and where it comes from. They put sheet metal on airplanes. It's an aviation tool. And as they put that sheet metal up there, they'll pop everything in place and they'll fill it with Clecos. And another guy, it's an assembly line thing. Another guy, he'll come back and he'll pull a Cleco, he'll put a rivet, pull a Cleco, and he'll continue that and he'll rivet that piece in. And if something happens, a bird hits the plane or something, then they have to replace a section of that plane. All they have to do is pull the rivets and put another piece up there, Cleco it up there. It's made for reproduction. So what we're doing here, we want to put everything in place. If I have to pull it out for any reason, I just pull the Clecos out and I put it back, and I don't have to change my measurement or anything else. So we're going to put that in there. I've already drilled those holes. I've already set that. There's several ways you can do it. This is just a fast way to do it. Some people put it in with sheet metal screws, which is fine. But as we're doing it, we're going to use Clicos because it's the things, the little tricks of the trade that are going to make you a better technician, fabricator, metal worker. All right, that's in place. I don't have to hold it in place. I have to do anything else. I also took my little tool. I measured the height before I put the plate in, of course. I measured the height, and I cut me a plate. That exact measurement. A strip. And the strip had to be long enough to go all the way around it. Not only that, I cut me 2 of them because I'm doing both sides at the same time. And we're going to push that in there. I've already preformed it just a little bit, but it's not that big a problem. You squeeze around on it like that. And I know where I want one end to be. So I'm just going to go on and Clico that to get that. All right. I want pressure against it, pressure all the way around it. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to, because that edge might be a little angled like that, I'm going to put pressure into that angle. The angle is going to be important when the glass goes in. Now you might say, well, you're just sticking that over the top of that. I'm not sticking it over the top of it. After I build this, I'm going to take it out. And I'm going to grind it, and I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to make it pretty, whatever I need to do. And then when I put it back in there, I'm going to cut the existing damage out, and it's going to be tucked in. I know it's sitting on Clicos now, but it's going to be tucked in a good 1/8 of an inch past where it's at. So it'll be in the place where the old stuff was. Well, only when you're trying to make one take. Let's do this. There we go. That's the one. All right, I've got it tucked back. Go on and put in it. You never can have enough clamps. You pull it back. Get it in place just like you want it. All right, that's that trough right there. Well, we're going to tuck that in, probably put a few more clamps on it. Then I'm going to tack weld it. Every couple of inches in place to where it's solid. I'm not going to weld it solid right there because this needs to be prim, proper, and pretty. And the way to do that is after I tack that in place and I make this one whole piece, I'll take it out and I'll weld it from the back side. And to keep it from warping, I'll use my flux core. But the trick of the flux core, which I probably hear more bad about a flux core than good, but I've used the MIG, and the MIG is good for finishing. But the flux core, there's one thing about the flux core. They say, well, the flux core is hotter than the MIG, but like I told you, there's some tricks to the trade. I can do a continuous weld on this 20 gauge, without warping it, with one trick. Also, as I'm welding it, I'm going to have air on it. Now, you say, well, you can do that. You can't do that with a MIG. A MIG, one small wind blows in the room, and the MIG just puddles up and splatters, and it loses all the flux, or that's the air in the MIG is to push the oxygen away. Well, the flux core is also the same thing, but it pushes away from the inside. So I can put a little air on it as I'm welding and drop that temperature 1,000 degrees. And if it's still too hot, I can back up just a little bit and it'll cool off. So it's very adjustable, kind of like a stick welding or something like that. For structure work, it's ideal. We'll give some examples as we go on. We don't want to drag this video out too much, but maybe, just maybe, if you paid attention here, you've learned something. God bless you. I appreciate you watching the videos. Continue to watch the videos. Subscribe. I'm going to throw some more out there. Gonna do a little more completion on this, but we got this, the beginning of something here. As that gets trimmed out and pushed back 1/8 of an inch, and it gets welded in there. As I weld it, I'm gonna blow a little air on it to keep it from warping everything. Gonna show you a finished product. Continue to watch our videos. Thank you for watching.